we do have a guest. We haven't spoken to him about 2 years. The last time we spoke to him, I was supposed to send him some New York pizza. I know he's got his hands up. I know. I was trying. I did my research. I was thinking about sending it to you, but everybody that told me to do it, it would be stupid. But I'm going to figure this out, man. I'm going to figure it out. We are now talking to Duke sophomore quarterback Riley Leonard. What's going on, Riley?
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm doing great.
I'm sorry, man. I know I promised you pizza. We also promised somebody else, and I told who was it? Who's the other guy?
Oh yeah, the offensive lineman. Was it Kolasek? I think it was Appalachian State. I think it was the other one.
Yes, and I was doing all my research. I did everything to figure out how I could send you a pizza, in a box, and everybody told me you what are you, an idiot? I actually went to the post office and I said, if I were to send pizza, how would I go upon doing that? And they said, why would you be sending pizza, to somebody by the mail? And I said, I promised somebody I was going to sell. He says, I don't think that's a good idea, especially with everything that's going on. So, anyways, I'm going to figure it out. We're going to get you some pizza, but you definitely need to experience it. But how are you, man? How is Duke? How is everything that was going on with COVID? I'm sure not playing in front of fans or actually seeing much of fans, but now that you have everything going on, you have obviously football now. What is it like over there in Duke, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, so got there around June of last year. Last year was pretty much a blur. We were COVID testing almost every day. We didn't perform very well, but we'll put that in the past. So this year we got Coach Elko, new coach, new coaching staff. Loved Coach Cut and everything like that. But I think this new era, this Elko era that we're talking about, I think we're really going to move things, change things up for this program. So it's been great. Had a great spring. It's looking pretty optimistic for me and my job coming into this next year. And then really just everything starting to roll. We've got a lot more money into the program, and a lot more support from fans as well. So it's looking pretty promising for Duke football in this next upcoming season.
You know what I love about you is you always had a smile on your face when we interviewed you last time, and it's good when you see there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and with Duke. Obviously, they're known for their collegiate basketball. Their basketball. They're not known for their football. But Daniel Jones came from Duke, and obviously he's slowly but surely, hopefully, going to be successful here in New York with the Giants under a new regime. And I think with you, Riley, what I notice about you is your personality. You're very educated. I think you were a 4-star recruit, and just who you are as a person, I could tell. But let me ask you this question. Where you see yourself, I mean, with everything going with the portal, being the portals that are open now, you never could do that. And a lot of these players, coaches get fired, and a lot of these players just jump ship and go and play for another team or go play for another coach. When obviously your coach got fired this offseason, what kept you over there with Duke? What was the reason why you decided to stay with Duke?
Yeah, so the whole portal jumping and leaving, what I was originally here for, is not really my thing. I really don't understand that. And although the coaches got changed, like, none of my teammates changed. These are the same guys that I came into the school with and who I fought with every day last year. How could I just don't see how I could leave them and tell them, hey, I'm jumping ship because the coaches got fired. The locker room is the biggest part of college football, and when you leave, if you were to leave, the guys that you go to war with every day, I just doesn't seem possible for me. So that didn't really cross my mind, because regardless, I'm probably gonna have a great relationship with the coach, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that worked out with the new staff, but I wouldn't want to leave Duke for my teammates, and then the education, of course, set up for life. So, you don't want to blow this opportunity at this type of school.
So you actually did get some game experience, 6 total games played last year, threw 1 touchdown, 1 interception, had 381 passing yards in a backup role. So what were the biggest things that you learned in your time on the field so far when it came to either reading the defenses or learning about the difference of the college and the high school game? What was that kind of effect like when you stepped on the field?
Yeah, so I learned that the hits are they're not exaggerated when they tell you these dudes can hit. Got my head blown off a couple of times, but was able to bounce back up. But golly, in reality, with the reads and stuff, they're not too much different from high school. I mean, football is still football. You're still going to see your base coverages. The hardest thing as a quarterback is knowing what to do before the ball is snapped. So, reading the defense, looking at the fronts, knowing your audibles, knowing your checks. That's the hardest thing about quarterback. Making the throws is probably the easiest thing. I don't know if you guys interview quarterbacks that much, but I mean, when you know where to go with the ball, making the throw is the easiest part. The pre-snap reads are just not as easy as, you would think. But yeah, in-game experience was great. Didn't really have nerves coming into any game, which was kind of surprising to me. But I mean, once you're out there, it's the same game you've been playing since you were 6 years old, just with a lot bigger guys that hit. Like I said, a whole lot harder. So,
as everybody knows, we are talking to Duke sophomore quarterback Riley Leonard. Riley, the quarterback position is probably the hardest position in any sport, and understanding reads, understanding your teammates, your running backs, your wide receivers, your tight ends, and with a new coach there. And what is the difference of transitioning from one coach to the other? And really, what is it like going into an offseason knowing that you're going and you're learning a totally different offense?
Yeah, the coach transition is really, really different. But I've been fortunate enough. The last offense coordinator and quarterback coach was very good, and so is this guy. And a lot of the verbiage nowadays it's kind of repeated. So he picked up on some of the stuff we talked about last year. We're starting to learn some new stuff from the new offense coordinator, but the coaching change wasn't too bad. The offense and learning the completely new offense is a little bit tough. But luckily, you go through spring ball and you learn everything. So then you get into summer and it's kind of like repeating that and just perfecting it. So we've picked it up pretty quickly. Obviously, being at Duke, you got some smart guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, even the receivers are some of the smartest people you'll meet. So it's been
they're all going to be doctors.
Yeah, we got who knows where we'll all end up in 20 years, but yeah. We picked up the offense pretty smoothly.
You have to see the big picture here. I mean, the big picture is play well like Daniel Jones, and you get drafted, and then
no doubt
let it all fall together for you. You still have a college education, no matter what. You're a smart
Absolutely.
guy. So and coming from Duke, a lot of people. There's quite a few players over the last couple of years that have been successful in the NFL playing from Duke. So it's not like it's a surprise. I mean, I have seen in the last, 5 years, Speedy, 6 players come from Duke. And actually, one of them played for the Jets last year. Didn't play well for the Jets, but he was a pretty successful NFL wide receiver.
He's working out today.
So
in our facility. So
really,
you got a young corner of Duke too, Michael Carter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
So you've seen different players come from one place to another and have been very successful in the NFL. So to say that you being a quarterback from Duke can't be successful in the NFL is crazy to say that. We're seeing Daniel Jones, I still think is going to be a really good quarterback in this league. I know Giant fans want to throw him to the wolves and give up on him, but I've seen a lot of great things from the kid. I just think they need to find a way to protect him. And I think when they figure that out, I think he's going to show what his worth is. And I think he's a fantastic talent. Yeah,
absolutely. He's also a great mentor to us. But yeah, he's a huge guy, great hard worker. And I'm looking forward to seeing him play because he's got what it takes. He just needs to, put it all together.
So one of our fans has a question. John Suggs asks, have you worked out outside of practice with Gavin Spurrier or Jordan Moore? And has Spurrier been hurt since he hasn't seen him play? And also, I know you lettered in high school at track and field at Fairhope. Are you or Jordan Moore faster?
So, this isn't too hard to answer. Jordan's a whole lot faster than me. But no, we're best friends off the field. Believe it or not, it sounds like we're competing, and from the outside looking in, it's like we hate each other. But me, Jordan, and Gavin, we go golf and play poker, go swim, watch a movie. Like we're always with each other. So that's one thing that's really commonly misunderstood with college quarterbacks, especially is that we all just are just butting heads all the time. But in reality, we're all the same good group of guys. And we're not really competing against each other. We talk about this. We're not competing against each other. We're competing against ourselves because every day I know if I perform at my best abilities, I can get the job. If Jordan or Gavin performs at their best abilities, they'll get the job. So I mean that's what it all comes down to. And then track and field in high school, that I don't know what that was. I went out there my senior year, had no idea what I was doing, but they told me jump as far as I could into the sand pit. So I did. I didn't do too bad, but
Jump as
I
far
had
as
no
I
idea what I was doing.
That's track and field for you. I ran track and field too, and they told me run as fast as you can when the gun goes off.
Yes, there's not much to it.
We are talking to Duke sophomore quarterback Riley Leonard. Riley, obviously it's a new season. What are you looking forward to most this season? And what is it different than it was last year? And if it does look like it's different than it was last year, what is different?
The thing I'm looking forward to most is winning. That's going to come this year, and it hadn't in the past. And the reason I'm so optimistic is because of each guy's mentality. For example, last year we didn't really have too many guys come in and get extra work in during the off hours of the day. Now, out of let's say 100 guys in the locker room, 75, 80 of them are coming in every single day and getting extra work in. Guys are texting me, asking to watch film. They're working out. Riley, can we go throw? Can we go over this protection? Let's watch film. He didn't see much of that. So we're all in the mentality of, this is a new beginning and we're going to win. So that's definitely the thing I'm most excited about.
So in your limited time playing the 6 games that you did play and the snaps you played, who was the toughest opponents you had to face so far in your career in the ACC or even across college football?
Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, when you're out there, everybody's pretty much the same on the defensive end. But I will say the Virginia Tech's 12th man with their fans, that may have been the hardest factor. Those dudes, they were going crazy. That was really fun. And then for me, honestly, the cold weather is the biggest factor. I hate the cold weather being from Alabama. But so yeah, that's probably the biggest factor for me. But yeah, other than that, I mean, nobody really stands out to be that much challenging.
Oh man, you got to come to New York, man. We can show you around. In the wintertime, it's not even that bad anymore. It really isn't.
No?
I mean, no. I mean, we've had this year, I think here in New York, I think we had one bad week. I think it was in the 16s or it was 16, 17 degrees. Usually over the last couple of years, we had every year we have one bad snowstorm and that's it. So I don't know. It's getting warmer up here. You have to go all the way upstate to Buffalo or Canada for it to really snow over here.
Syracuse, there's potential for that if you end up playing out there.
Yeah, but I think it makes you more of a man, and you're a young guy, and you do know that if you get drafted, you could be playing in Minnesota, you could be playing in Buffalo, you could be playing in all these cold places where you're going to have to deal with that in the wintertime. So I think being that you're a young guy and you're as you slowly but surely fall into that position over there in Duke, you're going to actually see the difference from Alabama and it is over there.